Hi guys, this is Amanda over here at A Lame Brain Productions. I'm making a video on how to make homemade chicken noodle soup. I got myself a whole chicken, just a small guy, an Amish fryer. He's already been, he or she, sorry, he's already been boiled. I just have to pick apart all the meat. I'll get to that step here in a second. If I would have thought about it, I would have pulled my camera out when we were cutting the carrots and celery and onion. I'm just going to walk you through a little secret recipe. Really simple and oh my goodness, oh so yummy. Like seriously, I'm not a fan of all my cooking, but this is something my family just gobbles up and I love it. You know how usually when you cook something of your own, you're not the craziest about it? Well, not this. This is the best. Okay, so I got the larger bag of carrots. You know, you cut them, you peel them, you cut them up, and that's a whole bag of carrots. Whole bag of celery, a large yellow onion, seasoning salt, organic garlic powder, pepper, and your water. Okay, so what I do is I take my raw chicken and I put it in my big pot of cool water. I fill the water up about halfway, probably about there, and I cut my onion up and I put the onion in the pot with the raw chicken, put the lid on, and you let it simmer. You bring it to a boil and then you turn the heat down and you let it simmer, I don't know, 2 hours, hour and a half, depends on what you're doing to keep yourself busy or how much you want to rush it. Take the chicken out to cool. This chicken has been sitting out for probably 35-40 minutes now. It's not cooled all the way, but I don't want to let it get to full room temperature because that's when bacteria can start setting in. So I'm going to pick this guy apart and get all the meat off that I can. You go through it with your fingers. It's a messy job. You get rid of all the skin, the bone, the gristle, and this is a way so you have a clean soup. And also keep in mind, if you're not familiar with making homemade soups, if you boiled your chicken a long time, you want to take your pot, turn your heat off, take your pot and strain your broth into another pot. If you're like me, I only have one large soup pot that I love to make, that I love to use. So I take one of my spare pots that's really not that big, but it's big enough to strain the broth in because you want to keep your water that you boiled your chicken in all day. That's not your only source of flavoring, but it makes it the homemade soup. I've made mistakes before where I walked over to the sink and I went to go strain my broth and it just went right down the drain and I had to start over with a pot of water and my veggies and my seasonings, and it's not the same, trust me. Okay, so the reason why you strain your soup after boiling your chicken all day or simmering your chicken for a few hours is chicken likes to fall off the bone when it's tender and when it's done, and skin, gristle, bone, and chicken has lots of little teeny tiny bones in there that can get into your soup. And you don't want that. No one wants to take a bite of soup and bite into a bone, or you serve it to your children and one of them, you know, a little one chokes and it's just not pretty. You know where I'm going with it. So always strain your broth. Then you gotta, you know, pick out whatever you want out of it. Like say sometimes I boil my chicken with my carrots and then I strain it. I have to get my carrots out. I usually use a fork. It's a job. If you want a good, clean, homemade soup, you have to do it. Take the steps. It'll be worth it in the end. As you see right now, this is just simmering. You can see stuff moving around. It's already been boiling. Okay, so then you keep your broth, add your celery, your carrots. If you didn't already boil it in there, you got your onion already cooked in there. And when I started off, I do a shake right across the top. It's like covering the top of your pot of seasoning salt, organic garlic powder. I don't use garlic or onion salt. I use powders only because I like to use it with seasoning salt. If you mix it with a garlic salt, it becomes too salty. And I use Better Than Bouillon. It's a premium Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken base. There's a regular chicken base and a roasted chicken base. I haven't been able to tell the difference. There's also a Better Than Bouillon beef, and I use that for my cabbage soups, my vegetable beef and barley soups. And these little babies are expensive. Cheapest I ever found it was, I don't know, $3.60 at a Walmart one time on sale. Kroger's, they run anywhere between $4 and $6. It just depends. 38 servings, but I'm using a large pot. So I use a half of one of these for my soups. If you do too much, your soup will just taste really, really yummy, but you'll find yourself very, very thirsty because it's a salty product. You know, it's like a bunch of mushed up bouillon cubes. It is MSG free. It does say it on there somewhere. I found it because I don't mess around with that. I don't really think it's in a lot of stuff anymore. But it's out there and it's very dangerous. Not good for you. Okay, so there's my secret. So after I did all my seasoned salt, my garlic powder, my pepper, my chicken, and the water, everything's boiled, you know, simmered all day. Got my chicken cooling. Let's see, I'm not good at walking things through step by step, and I'm losing track because I wasn't planning on making this video, but one of my kids suggested it. So that way we have it on recording forever and ever. Okay, what was next? Okay, so I took a large spoon, or not a large spoon, I'm sorry, a cereal spoon. I call that a cereal spoon, teaspoon. Regular size spoon. And I took 2 heaping scoops of my chicken base. And you just put it in your water and it melts right off. So that is in there after it, you know, all the other seasonings. You don't want to overdo it with the other seasonings. Like I said, just go across the top. It comes out so, so yummy. So I'm going to get this chicken picked apart. I'll be back. We're going to turn the camera on and off as I'm holding it with one hand. I do got my daughter willing to help. Got 2 daughters willing to help, right? You guys ready? Learn how to make mom's chicken soup? Mm-hmm. All right. We're back, guys. Bye. Hi, guys. We're back. Got half the chicken picked apart here. As you can see, let's see this one. See if it does it. Look at that. The leg bone just slid right off. It's an indication that the chicken is done. It's tender. It's ready to go. I'm going to give my cameraman a little bite there. Yummy. What do you think?
The best.
Okay. So, why do we do this? It's a mess. It's a job. It's a process. But you get a good, clean, gristle-free, bone-free soup. You can just chow down and not have to worry about anything weird being in your soup. Nothing's going to stab you in the throat. You're not going to choke on a chicken bone. You know, pulling this baby apart. So this is what you do. Pick it apart. The chicken was cooling, like I said earlier, previously, for about 35 minutes. It's the closer I get to the bone, when I stick my hand in there, it's still very hot. Almost not able to touch, but you just get through it as fast as you can so you can get this soup back, you know, get it together and get it back to boiling and ready to serve to your family. Y'all, it's hot in there. Ouch. I already got so much meat in this pot, and that was just half the chicken. I'm working on the other half right now, so it's going to be really, really meaty and really good. I haven't even touched all the leg. I got 2 wings, 2 thighs. I still got to flip this baby over. Still got all this breast meat. Alright guys, I'm going to keep picking this chicken apart and I'll be back. Hi guys, we're back. Again, I picked all the meat off the bone. I know there's some of you professionals out there that are probably saying, there's a lot more meat there. But man, I'm telling you, I've stuck my fingers in there and I've gotten most of every crack and crevice. And again, you know, I don't like the veins. I don't like, you know, that's not a piece of meat, okay? That is. You know, I like my soup to be clean. I don't want gristle. I don't want fat. I don't want skin. I'm even picky about the choice of the meat when it comes over to the dark meat. I don't want those veins in there. But I did put it all in there. I'm not saying I'm wasting, okay? I have 7 kids and I am not a waster. By far. Yeah, I am not a waster. Okay. Alright, so this is what you do. You pick, you pick, you pick, you pick, you pick. You're picking your chicken, picking your chicken.
That's nice.
And the chicken is no longer a chicken. All you vegetarians out there are probably wanting to shoot me. My oldest daughter is a vegetarian and I stand behind her 100%. And when she's over, we are considerate. And like, I know I did say in my previous videos, we really haven't eaten a lot of meat due to the economy and, you know, hard times. We have a large family and we really can't afford it, to be honest with you, and it doesn't bother me. Alright, so I picked my chicken. All my meat is in the pot. Yucky, greasy, yucky hands. I'm going to go wash my hands and I will be back to show you the last final step. Alright. Hi guys, I'm back. Got the carrots, the celery, the onion, the better than bouillon, soup mix, soup flavoring stuff. I got all my meat picked off the bone. The soup has been simmering. And now, let me see that really quick. This is my absolute favorite. It's the only kind of noodle. Well, not the only kind, don't get me wrong. We use egg noodles. We use all kinds of noodles. But this is what I prefer. Klusky. Mrs. Weiss. Klusky enriched egg noodles. The way you remember them. Yes, okay, so this is just a standard bag. Egg dumpling noodles is what they're actually called. This is a 16-ounce, 1-pound bag. So I dumped the whole bag into my pot. And, actually, you know what? I take that back. I do that. That's my last step because we don't like our noodles to be overcooked, you know, they swell up. I like to make sure my carrots are cooked. And I did get a late start on my soup tonight. So that is the dilemma. I'm going to see if my carrot is done to my liking. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Awesome. All right, cameraman, I'm going to hand it over to you. You got it?
Yep.
Let's get that carrot. Actually, you know what? I'll keep it out and I'll eat it. We're going to open our noodles. So what I was going to say is when my soup is boiling, are you pointing to the soup?
Oh, soup.
When my soup is boiling, what I would do, my last step is to turn the stove off, put the noodles in, remove the pot from the burner, remove it from the heat, put a lid on it, and let it sit there. You can go back 10 minutes later, stir it up, and your noodles are absolutely perfect. They're not overcooked. That is how you get the perfect noodle. And you could do it with egg noodles, spaghetti noodles, macaroni noodles. You know, if you leave it in the soup boiling, because, you know, it's going to absorb all that stuff, and it's just not going to be much there. And you know what? Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I think we need to add a little more broth in there. Because once the noodles go in, it's going to absorb some of that. And usually we have a full pot of soup. You notice that?
Yeah. You can see the kind of ring where we usually put the soup.
Yeah. Alright guys, so we're going to put the noodles in, put the lid on. I might have to get myself a little more broth going because I like my pot to be full. And but that is it. That's how you make chicken soup. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. I will be making future sewing videos because I make purses and bags for extra income for my family. I don't have a lot of camera equipment, so that's why I'm not good at making the videos and all that good stuff. And I wasn't prepared to show the world my face because, you know us girls. I look like crap right now. Long day. Anyway, so there's my chicken soup video. Subscribe, leave a comment, ask any questions, feel free. And if you followed us this long, I thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you again. Bye-bye.